Hello friends, welcome back to the bench. Thank you very much for joining me. Our patient is an X870 Strix gaming motherboard with AM5 socket. Very decent connectivity on it for a socket replacement. Now what's interesting here is that, take a look at the socket. Do you see any damage yet? That's the top part. Alright, let's grab some tweezers. This pin is a little bit shifted, like tiny little bit, and this one looks like as well. So extremely tiny damage. Now the bottom side, as you can see, the only damage that I can see is just this slight shift on this pin and there. Now it's corrected. Yeah. And nothing else. Nothing else. So, you know what I think? Take a look at here. I don't know if this is burning or this is just some dirt. This could just be, yeah, it looks like it's going away when I just rub it with the finger. But judging by the socket, I mean, unless this pin, because we don't know what this pin is, we could check on the pinout, obviously, to find out. But maybe this is something with ID. This is actually, since it's on the right side of the socket, there's a high chance that this is the memory rail. So perhaps the memory didn't work on this one. I think the customer did tell me what was wrong here. But I don't know. We've done few of these, so the outline is it's okay. I wouldn't say it's perfect, but it's good enough. Now, as you can see, the socket doesn't sit exactly right. Even if we look, well, maybe right, we see the white line on the top from this perspective, but we don't see one at the bottom, right? So they're kind of difficult to align, right? But usually when you get them close enough, they will just jump into the correct position. So far we haven't had any issues aligning these, but they are pain. They are a pain to align. But the board came in disassembled, which is awesome, because that's not so much work to disassemble it, and even that 25 extra bucks that I charge for that is not quite adequate to the amount of work on some of the boards that goes into disassembly on some of these boards. So I like them disassembled. Now this also, the Wi-Fi card is also removable. You just need to remove this screw, right, and this will pop off. But that's not a big deal. No problem, it doesn't really matter. Alrighty, well, let's get the socket replaced and we'll see if that resolved the problem. But judging what I see, the socket, I don't think it's a socket issue. But I guess only one way to find out. It's not very expensive, so it's always worth a try. Let's get to it.
Ladies and gentlemen, step right up for another amazing banger by Lex Blazing Daddy Paul. Touchdown to Heathrow, DP and me, bro. About to hit the club and turn the shoot to a freak show. Look through the peephole, everybody geek, yo. Need to get girl with an extremely deep. See six midgets that be fighting, juggling. Maybe it's just me, cause my mind is struggling. Babes, boyfriend is acting like a clown. Know what's going down every time that we are down. Take a look through the peephole, yo. Everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them neeks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club into a freak show. eating rotten apples. Dirty bass that be coming at you. Roller coasters like a supernova. I'm the ringmaster, this my tabernacle. See you screaming, I'm like, what for? Oh, you pop? Yeah, I got popcorn. Haven't wake up on the wrong lawn, so we won't stop. It's a lost cause. Take a look through the peephole. Yo, everybody's getting geek, bro. Stop the hate and let them leaks know that we turn the club into a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club, yeah, we turn the club to a freak show. Turn the club into a freak show.
And there we have it. Now, if you compare the new socket to old socket, you wouldn't even tell which one's new. Oh, obviously we can't see anything. So this is the old socket, all right, and this is the new socket. I wouldn't even tell that the original was damaged. Now, after cleaning, let me zoom in over here. I'm not sure if this is going to be visible, but I can see it that discoloration that I thought it was just the surface discoloration. You can't really tell because this microscope is not very sensitive, but I would expect it to completely go away, but I can see it. I can still see the difference, slight difference. So I'm not sure if the socket was the problem over here. I think it was it's the board itself. Now, after heating and and cooling after the replacement, the board can suffer some damage. Sure, that's always possible. But in this case, I think that there was a different problem here, and that's what was causing the issue. So we'll see. And well, the worst case scenario is that the socket didn't solder on. Right, so the board is not going to boot or whatever. And the best case scenario, well, the best case scenario is that it is just going to work now. But more likely, the issue will not go away. That would be my guess because of this damage over here. But only one way to find out. I mean, the service is not expensive. It's always worth a try, but there are risks, risks involved in this, so we'll see. But as far as RMAing it, you should be able to RMA it, no problem. There's no signs of socket replacement. Sometimes there's discoloration, sometimes you can see on the actual socket the discoloration, mainly from the use of flux and stuff, but this one has nothing. And lately all of the boards that I do, when they leave my shop, they look pretty much new. You wouldn't even tell. So that's always an option, to just RMA it. It's a very decent board, so it's definitely worth it. But yeah, let me know what happened. I mean, let me know if it did work. I'm always happy to know. Usually when people don't say anything, right, they just receive the board and I don't hear anything, I always assume that it worked, but I don't know. Sometimes I'm sure people just check it doesn't work. What are you gonna do? $50, right? Not a big deal. Worth a try, right? Or they RMA it, and that's the success, right? Some people do write back that the board doesn't boot, right? On AMD, it's usually when the procedure didn't work, either the socket didn't solder on, although this one I think it did. I didn't see when the socket dropped, but these don't usually drop. The way these are built, which actually makes it a lot easier to align them, the balls are really small, So when you put the socket on, it pretty much sits the way it's gonna sit after melting the solder on it, right? So that makes it easy to align. When the balls are really big and the socket sits up a lot, then you see clearly when it drops. Sure, that's fine, but alignment is a lot more difficult because the socket is not sitting the way it sits right now. So it's hard to say which one's better, because when the balls are big and the socket sits up before melting, you see clearly when it dropped and how quickly it dropped, whether it dropped evenly or just one side dropped and then the other side dropped. On these, you don't, so you just have to go by the time, right? So it's hard to say which one's easier. I would say in either case, the procedure is rather difficult, but that's what it is. Alrighty, thank you guys very much for watching. I do appreciate you, and I shall see you in the next one.